we have always existed. We've existed in the past. We've existed through a great phase of colonization, and we exist now. And so our blood, our minds, our sensations, our power to speak to one another has always existed, despite it all. And this is related to a very powerful word that is used in Galatians to start stories, which is ilanigo. It isn't once upon a time in a land far, far away. No. It is said to be a part of our reality. Ilanigo. There was a young woman growing up with her father. They had a beautiful place to live. Berries growing all over the land and arch blue mountains behind them, with a trickling, chuckling stream that came down the mountain right past their house that they could drink from, with trout and char that would climb up the river in the late summer that they could take out and eat. And before them was the ocean that was replete with seals and whales that they lived from. They had a beautiful life together. Although it was odd, because it was just the two of them, just the father and the daughter. Inuit live in huge clumps of people, brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents, and all living in this great big mess of organized chaos together. It's just the two of them. Nevertheless, they love their life. And the daughter grew up and she matured, and her father was so proud of her. One day, the father came. He said, "Oh, my dear daughter, look at you. You've grown up. I'm so proud of you. You've got a great mind. You're so beautiful. It's time for you to get married." And she said, Dad, no. I have no need to get married. Don't worry about me. And he got into his kayak and he paddled to all the different communities all around in the area and brought men home to her. Oh, the kind of men that he'd bring. Oh, round shoulders, narrow hips, thick lips. Or men that would pour pure poetry from their mouths. Oh, make the ears tingle. Shivers go down their spine. Or men that had the capacity to hunt for 10 children if she wanted them. But she didn't want them. No, in fact, every time she saw a new kayak come to her beach, she would take her favorite dog and disappear in the hills behind. Every time. So after a while, all the communities got the idea that she truly wasn't interested in getting married. So then the father and the daughter spent a time of loneliness together. And in the midst of this loneliness one day, the daughter came home and said, "Tata, tusalaming Inunaas lang mo to. Doctor, my father, please listen to me. My life is about to change. I'm pregnant." Ano? How? You've never even had a single boyfriend. How is this possible? I told you have to listen. You know my dog. the sound of those words, the father flew into a blind fury. The kind of fury that you think is moving in slow motion, but before you know it, your cheek is smarting and red. The kind of fury where his hackles have raised. The thought that his daughter got pregnant with a dog. He took her by the hair and threw her to the ground. And he dragged her down the beach and threw her across his kayak and paddled out to the ocean. He paddled for so long and so hard that by the time he stopped, there was no longer any land behind him, and only ocean out in front. He took his daughter by the hair and threw her into the water. Here you will die. She didn't want to die, of course. She hung on to the side of her father's kayak and looked up beseechingly. And he took out his knife and cut off every one of her fingers. And they flew through the air and splattered into the water. And there they transformed into the seagulls, the fish, the whales, the seals, the walrus. All the animals of the sea are her fingers. And she fell into the water and continued to sink. And she sank all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. And there she transformed into a goddess that had control over all the animals of the sea, because of course they are her fingers. And there she presided over human behavior. Humans are a faulty lot. We try so hard, but then we hurt one another. We say mean things. We don't think through things properly. We cause damage to one another. So whenever somebody was not kind or made a grand mistake, she would call all the animals of the ocean and tuck them into her long tangled hair. And an anakok. The closest to English is a shaman, but that's from a different religion altogether. Anakok. You have to make a magical journey down to the bottom of the ocean and comb her long hair and explain all the things that had happened and ask for forgiveness. And eventually she would grant it, and the animals would be released once more. Now do remember, she was pregnant. And she did indeed give birth to an entire litter of children. Children that were half dog and half human. They traveled all over the world and lived in all the different lands and came home every once in a while to tell her the stories of the people that they came across. Now, we say that her name was so powerful when she transformed that we're no longer allowed to say it. We only call her Sassuma Arnaa, the woman down there. That's all we have. Thank you for listening.